Alright, good evening po sa inyong lahat mga kaguro at maraming salamat po sa inyong pagbalik para sa ating General Education and Professional Education discussion tonight. And of course, we would like to welcome everyone, especially if this is your first time to join us. We'd like to welcome all of you in our General Education, Professional Education discussion. Still, we are going to have 20 items of General Education and also 20 items for Professional Education. This is the last live stream that we have in this month of August, okay? And then we are, of course, going to be announcing our schedule for next month's live streams. Okay, so again, we welcome all of you. Good evening po sa inyong lahat and good morning coming here from the US. If you are in another part of the world, then good afternoon, good morning, and it might also be good evening. So again, we are going to start with our discussion. Please make sure that you have your notebooks ready and that you also have your writing utensils with you, your pencil or your pen. Please answer with us, and also, of course, please make sure that you're taking down notes of all the things that we are going to discuss tonight. All right, but before that, of course, we are going to start still with our opening prayer, ang ating panimulang panalangin na piniprayers ni Ma'am Eunice Carvajal.
Isang panibagong magandang gabi. Samahan niyo po akong manalangin bago tayo magsimula sa ating pagre-review. Panginoon, maraming salamat po sa pagkakataong muli na matuto ngayong araw. Salamat sa buhay ni Ma'am Mek na ginagamit niyo po para mas makapaghanda po kami sa LET sa susunod na taon. Patawad po sa lahat ng mga nagagawa po naming kasalanan at magagawa pa. Hayaan mo nga po na mas piliin namin gawin yung tama kaysa sa mali. At ikaw po yung patuloy na pumatnubay sa amin sa aming mga desisyon sa buhay. Tulungan niyo po kami na makapaghandang lalo, hindi lang Panginoon sa mga sasaguting item, kundi sa disiplinang tama na gusto mo rin matutunan namin. Disiplina sa sarili na hindi lang po tuwing nag-aaral kami online yung paglalaan namin, kundi Panginoon ay gawin din po namin paglaanan ng oras yung mga kailangan po nga po namin matutunan. Muli Panginoon, hayaan mo na ikaw na nga po yung patuloy na magpaunawa sa amin ng lahat ng bagay o ng item na mapag-aaralan po ngayong araw. Sa mga makakasama po namin na first-timer sa live, we pray na mas matuto din po sila at makasama pa po namin sila sa susunod na live ni Ma'am Mek. Salamat sa panibagong mga kaibigan na nabubuo sa Gurong Pinoy at salamat sa oportunidad na mas matuto muli ngayong gabi. Panginoon, maraming salamat sa lahat ng biyayang pinagkakaloob mo sa amin at sa mga hahabol din po at sa mga internet connection na meron kami, we pray na hindi po ito magloko at makisama Panginoon. Kung hindi man, ay hayaan mo nga po na huwag kami mapanghinaan ng loob at hayaan lang namin na maging tapat sa aming sarili na kung walang internet connection, manood na lamang po ng replay. At huwag kaming ma-frustrate Panginoon. This we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Alright, so sa muli atin pong pinasasalamatan si Ma'am Eunice Carvajal and of course si Pastor Efren Esteban. Sila po yung dalawa nating mga kaguro na nagpe-prepare ng ating prayer, no? So kada live stream natin, on a Saturday, we have Pastor Efren and of course on Sunday, we have Ma'am Eunice. Okay, so maraming salamat po. Napakaganda ng panalangin kanilang inahahanda at of course, napaka-inspiring. Okay, mas na-inspire tayong pagbutihin ng ating pagre-review. All right, so again, before we start, make sure that you like this video, Okay, mag-comment na po kayo, mag-like na po kayo. Good evening po sa inyong lahat. You heart this video, you say wow to this video, share this video on your wall in the groups that you have joined. You may start a watch party, you may tag your friends. And of course, sa aking mga parokyano dito sa YouTube, please don't forget to like our video. Okay, if you're watching us on Facebook, especially if this is your first time to watch us, make sure that you also go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to it, because we have so many videos that can help you pass the LET in YouTube. We have a separate playlist for GenEd. We also have a separate playlist for ProfEd. And of course, we have all the previous live streams in one playlist. Okay, so we also have a playlist for all the live streams with that. Okay, so make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and be notified of all the next review tutorials that we are going to have. All right, so again, if you are still not part of GROW po is Gurong Pinoy Review Online Work Group. Many people are still inquiring as to how to become a member of GROW. Again, GROW is Gurong Pinoy Review Online Work Group. This is where we send all the exclusive materials, the materials that we discuss here in our live stream, all the things that we use here in our live stream, and also some other review materials that we know can help you pass the LET. Now, for you to become a member of this, the payment is only 500 pesos. That's through Palawan Cebuana ML. The name, address, and phone number are there. And of course, the 500 pesos is a one-time payment po. Okay, it's a one-time payment. That means you don't need to pay again next month. You don't need to pay for the final coaching. You don't need to pay 5,000. Okay, you only need to pay 500 pesos, and that's until you take the LET. Okay, that's until you take the LET. Now, again, once you have already sent your payment, make sure that you get a picture, take a picture of your receipt, then send it through a private message on Gurong Pinoy's official Facebook page. Okay, don't comment it po. Okay, email a private message lang po, and then of course we are going to add you to GROW. Now, another option that you can do if you cannot get out, if because of the restrictions of COVID-19, you cannot go out of your house, you may also ask another person to pay it for you, then just ask for the receipt. Okay, so picturean nyo pa rin po, or mag-ask kayo ng picture ng receipt, and then of course send it to us. Now, you can also send it through a super sticker in one of our live streams on YouTube. So all you need to do, if you're watching us on Facebook right now, and if you want to pay through super sticker on YouTube, then you go to YouTube, join the live stream. We have the live stream simultaneously on Facebook and YouTube right now. And you can just press the icon, the dollar icon that you have in the chat box. Then you can choose the money that you want to pay. It's actually linked. You can link it to your PayMaya, PayPal, or to your GCash. Okay, because so we don't have a GCash as GCash talaga. So what you need, what you can do is to just send it through super sticker. Okay, so again, that is for GROW, Gurong Pinoy Review Online Work Group. It's a one-time payment of 500 pesos. And so we are here and we are committed to help you pass the LET. We know that passing the LET is your main goal. Okay, your goal right now is to have the LPT at the end of your names, okay? And we are here, Gurong Pinoy Study Link. We are here to help you pass the LET, okay? We have been doing this for more than 10 years. We started with Study Link Review and Tutorial Center. It's a physical review center for the LET, Civil Service, MTAP, and for other tests. And we had that in Iloilo, okay? But of course now, not only because of the pandemic, but also because my family is already here in the US, we are doing things online. But we actually started doing live streams and doing these review sessions online just in February of this year. Okay, because of classes going virtually, I had a lot of time. And so I said, I'm going to put up a YouTube channel and start teaching the LET takers for them to pass, of course, the LET. All right, so again, we continue. And make sure that you're ready to join us. Please participate. Of course, when you're participating, your learning becomes more meaningful and it becomes easier for you to remember stuff, and you'd be able to understand concepts easily. Okay, so we start with GenEd question number 1. Okay, this one is a very common question in the LET. Palagi po itong lumalabas paulit-ulit. If you forgot blank textbook, you could use blank, Mark. Okay, Mark here should be capitalized. No, it should be capitalized. That's the name of a person. Okay, so what do you think is the correct answer? Your, ours, his, hers, your, mine, ours, yours. Good evening sa inyong lahat na nandito sa YouTube. Okay, people are starting to share, starting to answer also. Ma'am Josephine Bailon, thank you po for sharing our video. Sir Daoming Se, good evening and thank you for sharing our video. All right, you are all answering letter C, and of course that is the correct answer. It's very easy. If you forgot your textbook, you could use mine, Mark. Okay, Mark here should have been capitalized. Okay, forgive me for that. So that would be letter C. Again, that's letter C for number 1. Now we go to question number 2. Mr. Tolentino was concerned about the safety of motorists, and so he issued a circular containing blank safety guidelines. Himself, themselves, his, their. Ma'am Joy Dairit, maraming salamat. Maagang-maaga ang iyong paayuda. Okay, so super chat, super sticker. Maraming salamat po. From Sir Nelson Matugina, paki-shout out. Karage, Region 13. Good evening po. Tamang-tama ka, Sir Barbs. Okay, now what do you think is the correct answer here? Sir Reynold Galvan, good evening, sir. I see you. He said, good evening, Ma'am Mecca, kami sa Moments sa Struggling Family. Yes, he used to be one of our students, now of course a licensed professional teacher. Thank you, Sir Reynold. And belated happy birthday. Yes. Yes, Ma'am Winter Summer, si Ma'am Winter dito nagsabi, Mark should be capitalized since it is a proper noun. Yes po, I've already mentioned that. I'm actually not typing it. And so I'm only talking and an app is typing it for me. So sometimes I can't see that it should have been capitalized. Okay, so kinaka-copy paste ko na lamang po doon sa tinype ng app. So hindi ko na siya tinatype kasi pa isa-isa because it would take longer time. Ma'am Elsie Palomo, thank you for sharing the video. Okay, now many of you are answering letter D dito sa Facebook, ganun din sa YouTube, and we know that this is the correct answer, okay? He issued a circular containing their safety guidelines. Their safety guidelines. Guidelines, of course, for the motorists. So number 2 should have been their po. Okay, now we go to number 3. The Green Revolution refers to food production, the planting of vegetables and fruit trees. A natural resource that is not being sufficiently developed is the world's bodies of water, which promise an abundant source of food referred to as Blue Revolution. The food source refers to corals, fish, algae, seashells. Hello, Ma'am Jenilyn Labadan. Welcome back po. Okay, medyo mahina daw po yung signal ni Ma'am Jenilyn dahil nasa bukid siya. Okay lang po yan. Sabi nga kanina sa panalangin ni Ma'am Eunice, laban lang po tayo. Huwag po tayo ma-frustrate kahit na mahina po yung signal. Okay, because life's not perfect and so we need to just adjust to it. Dapat tayo nag-a-adjust sa life, hindi yung life nag-a-adjust sa atin, di ba? Okay, iba-iba ang inyong sagot for question number 3. Good evening po sa inyong lahat na nandito sa Facebook. Hello to my good friend, Sir Rhett Monserrate of the ILG, is also answering with us. He's my classmate. Okay, the Green Revolution refers to food production, the planting of vegetables and fruit trees. A natural resource that is not being sufficiently developed is the world's bodies of water, which promise an abundant source of food referred to as Blue Revolution. Okay, the food source refers to which one? Iba-iba yung inyong sagot. And of course, the correct answer is the fish. Ano nga ba yung major food source natin from the dagat? Kumakain ba kayo ng algae? Okay, corals, seashells, yung algae, yung mga lumot-lumot na to, no? Lumot-lumot. So fish po would be the correct answer. Blue Revolution is pertaining to the fish. Okay, so letter B is the correct answer. All right, now number 4. Some animals perform service to humans. Canines serve in war and in peace. Cats safeguard the home from pests. Pigeons can transmit messages. This is possible if these animals are fed, drugged, trained, kept. So again, a while ago, I told you that I'm just using an app to type all these questions now. So sometimes I cannot see some mistakes in the spelling, in capitalization, unless I really try to analyze all the questions. Because as you know, school has already been back here in the US. So bumalik na po kami sa school next week, the following week. No, tomorrow it's already our third week, or it's already our third week of discussion. And of course, I still need to prepare for my class. My class, I have biology too, and I also have physical science honors. And of course, I also have my baby. I also have some sidelines na ginagawa. And so whenever I type these questions here for you, okay, because this is a total of 80 items po to kada weekend, I usually just don't type it anymore. I don't type it because it would take a long time. So what I do is I use a website. You can also use that, especially if you're typing a lot of things. Some of you are already working and others are working in some offices. If you are typing a lot of words, for example, I use a website called speechtexter.com. Speech as in speech, okay? Speechtexter.com. So you just speak. I'm just speaking. I'm just reading from the questions that I have from our exclusive let sets. No? So I'm reading the questions, and then the app just would type the questions for me, and then I copy and then paste here para mas madali. Okay? And then rationalize ko na lang, check ko na lang yung answer. So sometimes I cannot really see if some of the things are misspelled or some of the things are wrong unless I really analyze isa-isa. Kasi usually I don't have enough time to prepare for the class, no? So singit-singit ko siya. Sinisingit ko lang siya. And so forgive me if there are some mistakes here. But of course, as for the answers, we are doing our best, okay? You are assured that all the answers are correct. Okay, now the question here is some animals can be used in war, in peace, a lot of services to humans. This is possible if these animals are, is it fed, drugged, trained, or kept? What do you think is the correct answer? Okay, a lot of you are answering with the letter C here on Facebook. Okay, and the correct answer, of course, would be letter C. If they are trained, they need training. Okay, so reward punishment lang naman yung ginagawa, operant conditioning according to B.F. Skinner nga. Okay, so letter C, trained po, is the correct answer. Now we go to number 5. Nelson Mandela sacrificed so much. Family, friends, and a big chunk of his life for things he believed in. A democratic South Africa with equal rights and a beacon of hope for the rest of the world. Nelson Mandela's dream for South Africa, which was realized, was cooperation, unity, democracy, supremacy. Okay, we all know who Nelson Mandela is. He used to be the president of South Africa, no? So he was in prison for a long time. He's already dead. He died the same year that Paul Walker died. Okay, and of course, he was the main force towards the movement in South Africa. Because as you know, South Africa was also placed under the British rule before. Okay, so South Africa was under Great Britain before, as well as India. And so they fought for their freedom. Okay? By saying that they fought for their freedom, I think you already know what the correct answer, and that would be letter C, their democracy, because they were actually placed under the British rule, just like the Indians. Okay, so letter C po, democracy, would be the correct answer. Okay, now number 6. As far back as I can remember, our family has always been an extended one. Our grandmother was a mainstay in the family, the silent strength behind our mother, who is her daughter. The honorary household chief in this extended family is the letter A, grandmother, B, mother, C, father, D, aunt. Oh, may mga nag-aagoy na dito sa YouTube. May mga nasasaktan sa answers. Okay, again, we'd like to welcome all those people who are joining us right now on Facebook. Please don't forget to like, to hit the heart button, the wow button, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, we have so many videos there on YouTube, so make sure to also visit our YouTube channel. And of course, we welcome all of you in our live stream. Okay, now may parokyano here on YouTube are answering the letter A. Okay, letter A, karamihan ng sagot. Ma'am Nenidal, okay lang po, habol po tayo. And of course, dito, letter A din sa ating Facebook. And that would be the correct answer. Okay, our grandmother was a mainstay in the family. The silent strength behind our mother. And nakalagay pa dito X1 yung kanilang family. So we all know that the honorary household chief is the grandmother, which is actually true, no? Which is actually true sa mga Filipino families. Maraming grandmother talaga or grandfather, yung mga lolo't lola, sila yung mga household leaders pa rin, no? Household chief. All right, number 7. Shirley has not forgotten that she was betrayed by her best friend and carried such blank in her deeply offended heart for a long time. Okay, so itong mga best friend, no, mga mapagkunwaring best friend, kunwari best friend, tapos aahasin yung inyong loved one. Charot lang ha. Okay, may intriga. Kain po tayo. Okay, so ano kaya tamang sagot for question number 7? Okay, a lot of you are answering letter A here on YouTube. Dito sa Facebook, ganun din, and that would be the correct answer. Okay, so rancor would mean bitterness. Okay, so bitter siya, ang palaya si Shirley. Dahil nga binitray siya ng kanyang best friend, maaaring with her ex-boyfriend. Okay, so she had this rancor, she had this bitterness. All right, so number 7, that's letter A. We go to number 8. Clara reads any book or magazine she could lay her hands on and reads from cover to cover in one sitting. She is such a blank reader. Letter A, tedious. Letter B, serious. Letter C, leisurely. Letter D, voracious. Oh, yung mga rancor nyo dyan. A true friend is hard to find, sabi ni Ma'am Christine. Ang rancor mo daw, sabi ni Sir Pinoy. Hina ng signal, kapit lang po Ma'am Norhana. Okay, now a lot of you are answering the letter D. Dito sa YouTube, many people are answering with the letter D. Ma'am Amy Ko, thank you po for sharing our video. Okay. Now, of course, the correct answer here would be letter D, voracious, meaning sobrang gana siyang klase ng leader. Kahit na ano ay palagi niyang binabasa, no? Kahit anong mahawakan niya, binabasa niya. Okay, very eager, very a reader with a very big appetite for reading. No? So we say voracious, voracious. Okay, so number 8, that's letter D. Number 9, a lot of water, blank needed to irrigate the parched land is, are being, is being, are. Very eager. Tama yung sabi mo, Sir Loreto. Meron daw kakilala, Sir Viodolo, voracious eater naman. Marami tayong kakilalang voracious eater. Ay, nako na late, Sir Clint. Okay lang po yan. Habol po. Okay, again, please don't forget to like this video, heart this video, share this video, more importantly. Start a watch party, tag your friends, post it on your Facebook account so that we may be able to help more let takers pass the let. Okay, now number 9, a lot of water blank needed to irrigate the parched land is, are being, is being, are. Okay, the correct answer here, of course, would be, many of you are answering letter D dito sa Facebook. Dito naman sa YouTube, letter A ang answer nyo. Okay, so karamihan sa ating Facebook users are letter D yung answer. Dito naman sa YouTube, letter A. And the correct answer, of course, would be letter A. A lot of water is needed to irrigate the parched land. Bakit letter A? Bakit is, hindi are? Now, a lot of can be used with both countable and uncountable nouns. Pag sinabi niyong countable nouns, ito yung mga nouns na merong plural form. So for example, yung mga nakakount nyo, apples, dresses, chairs, boys, girls, pencils, pens, papers, okay? So these are countable nouns. Countable nouns. Meron siyang plural form. Okay? Nakakount mo siya. Meron naman tayong tinatawag na uncountable or non-count nouns. Okay? Pag sinabi mo namang uncountable, they do not take the plural form. So pala singular lamang po yung singular lamang po yung form nila, no? So you don't say waters, okay? You can say waters, but this is going to be a different meaning, okay? So, but usually, water, of course, is taken as singular. It is uncountable. The same din siya ng mga concepts natin like love, peace, harmony, happiness, okay? So, wala silang plural form. You don't say, you have a lot of loves, okay, for the entire world, or you feel so much happinesses, okay? So wala tayong plural form for happiness, peace, love, unity, all of these stuff, all the abstract concepts that we have, no, wala tayong plural form for them because they are uncountable nouns or non-count nouns. Kasama na din dito, marami sa ating uncountable nouns, yung kasama din dito yung mga food and water supplies natin, no? Yung mga liquid supplies natin like juice, water, milk, so you don't say milks, okay? Yung food nyo din, rice. So hindi ka nagsasabi na rices, I want more rices. Hindi. That's why you use your partitive. Yung partitive, ito yung mga nagpapati-pati na ng mga uncountable nouns natin. So for example, yung partitive mo, 5 cups of rice. Dahil nga yung rice, hindi mo siya nakakount, it's an uncountable noun, you use your partitive 5 cups of. Okay, 5 cups of. Okay, so again, these are your uncountable nouns. So yung water mo, again, as I've mentioned, it's an uncountable noun. And so we only use your linking verb is for it. It's taken as singular. We don't use are for it. If your sentence is a lot of apples, for example, and of course apples is plural, then you'd be using are. Okay, but in this case, since water is an uncountable noun, we use is because it is taking just a singular form. Okay, so number 9 is the correct answer. That's letter A. Number 10, math. A coin is tossed several times and the ratio of heads to tails is 24 is to 26. Which proportion of tosses are tails? 12 out of 25, 12 out of 13, 13 out of 25, 13 out of 12. Oh yes, tama yan, Sir Vidolo. So furniture, jewelry, mali po yung pag sinabi nyong mali po pag sinabi nyong I have a lot of jewelries. Hindi po pwede. So pieces of jewelry, item of jewelry, pwede siya. Furniture cannot also be, you can say furnitures. Yung information, you also can say information. So you say pieces of information, pieces of yung nagiging partitive. Yung money is also uncountable, but bills and coins are countable. Ano pa ba? Okay, so these are some luggage, baggage nyo, uncountable din sila. Okay, now many of you are answering letter B here. Okay, dito letter B then. Now, a coin is tossed several times and the ratio of heads to tails is 24:26. Which proportion of tosses are tails? So again, sabi dito, 24 times yung head mo and 26 times naman yung tails. Okay, so we're looking at the 26 now because our question is talking about tails. So that means tails divided by total. That's going to be a ratio. We are getting the ratio out of the total. Hindi lang dito sa dalawa, no? So total na yan. Total na kukunin natin. Total na would be your denominator. So that means that would be 26 and 24 plus 26. If we are getting the total, we add 24 and 26 and that would give us 50. Okay, so your proportion of tosses that are tails, that's going to be 26 out of 50. 50 nga would be the total. And of course, if you are going to write this in the simplest term, okay, that would be 13 out of 25, and that would be letter C. Letter C po ang tamang sagot. Okay, so letter C would be the correct answer. Hindi po letter B, but it's letter C. Okay, so letter C is the correct answer. Ligwak, ganun. Arugoy, math na, exit muna. Okay, now number 11. What number is next in the sequence? 11,020, 11,260, 11,420, 11,660. Is it 11,760, 11,720, 11,820, or 11,800? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? Mali na naman, okay lang po yan. Importante po natututo. Okay, life is a learning experience. So don't be scared. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Making mistakes is my favorite way of learning. Mali kayong lahat. Okay lang po yan. Bawi po tayo, bawi po. Okay, so again, you are given this sequence. You have 11,020, 11,260, 11,420, and 11,660. And then, of course, you're asked for the number which comes next. Okay? Now, whenever you say sequence in math, this is a set of numbers. The numbers, each of the number there would be called your term. And they are arranged in a particular order. We have two types of sequences. So you have your arithmetic and you also have your geometric sequence. Okay, what is the difference between your arithmetic sequence and your geometric sequence? When you say arithmetic sequence, the difference between consecutive terms is constant. So there's a common difference. Meron pong common difference if it is an arithmetic sequence. Ang difference between consecutive, when you say consecutive, of course, ito yung tinatawag natin yung mga nagkakasunod-sunod na mga terms would be constant. So they have common difference. By the way, if you are already in Grow, there's no need for you to copy this. I'll be posting this later, okay? So there's no need for you to copy this if you're already in Grow. Now, the examples of this would be 2, 6, 10, 14. For you to get the common difference, you know that 6 minus 2 is 4. 10 minus 6 is 4. So you know that the difference would just be 4. Okay, that's their common difference. And you also have your two other examples here. So again, if they have a common difference, that means it is an arithmetic sequence. And whenever you're asked for the term, for a missing term in your arithmetic sequence, you can use this formula here. The nth term equals the 0th term. Okay, work backwards to find. Okay, it's actually the first, no? Plus add the differences n times. Okay, so that would be your arithmetic formula. Arithmetic sequence formula. All right, so again, your arithmetic sequence is the one which has common differences between consecutive terms. Now, your other type of sequence The other type of sequence is called your geometric sequences. Geometric sequence mo naman, there is a common ratio. Okay, there's a common ratio. The ratio of consecutive terms is constant. That means you may divide the next term by the previous term, and then you can get a common ratio. So for example, 3 divided by 1 is 3, 9 divided by 3 is 3, 27 divided by 9 is 3, 81 divided by 27 is 3. So we know that the common ratio is 3. Kapag may common ratio po sila, hindi common difference, common ratio, that means dinivide mo po yung mga magkakasunod na term, no? So 9 divided by 3. That's 3. Pag may common ratio, you'd call this your geometric sequence. And of course, meron naman siyang sarili niyang formula. Okay, so the formula is there. You can screenshot that. You can take a picture of that. But of course, if you're already in Grow, then you can just go and visit Grow later, and this would all be found. Okay, so geometric formulas would be shown on your screen. Now, going back to our question here, what number is next in the sequence? Okay, but kaya lang kasi pag sequences mo, usually, this is logical. So sometimes it does not really follow a certain rule, no? Ikaw yung maghahanap ng sarili nilang relationship. Okay, now, if you are going to, I've tried getting the difference between 11,260, 11,020, and the difference is 240. Okay, so the first two terms mo dito, their difference is 240. So again, the difference here would be 240. Now, I've also subtracted 11,260 from 11,420. And the difference now is 160. Okay, the difference here is 160. Now, I've also taken the difference between 11,660 minus 11,420. And the difference is 240. Okay, 240. And so we can surmise that the difference between the last term here and the next term would also be 160. So yung kanyang sequence po dito, yung kanyang arrangement, difference of 240, difference of 160, difference of 240, and the next would say, we would say would be difference of 160. So what I did is I added 160 to 11,660, and the answer would be letter C. Okay, so letter C po, that's 11,820. Aba, may nag-change to C pa dito. Okay, so 11,820. Now again, sa atin pong math, no, whenever you are solving your math problems, I've always been telling you that in math, you can kill the cat in several ways. Depende kung paano mo makukuha yung tamang sagot, no? So iba-ibang paraan, okay? So you have to, of course, use your logic, analyze the questions carefully. If it's a word problem, analyze it carefully so that you can come up with the correct answer. Okay, but for this one, it's letter C. Okay, so letter C po ang tamang sagot for number 11. Now we go to number 12. Filipino, hindi ko sukat akalain na siya ay isang balakyot. Palatawa, palautos, mapanlinlang, mabuti. Oh, may tip pa dito si Sir Viodolo. Tama yon. Tanggalin yung 11, no, sa 11,000. Kasi pareho lang naman silang may 11. Okay? Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 12 natin? And of course, you can already use your context clue dito no hindi ko sukat akalain, meaning you were not expecting that he or she is palatawa, palautos, mapanlinlang, mabuti. Okay, now the rest of your items are not really the correct answer. The correct answer, of course, would be letter C, mapanlinlang. Okay, so you're not expecting na mapanlinlang ang iyong kaibigan. Okay, yung kaibigan mo kanina, no? Kaya you are carrying such rancor, such bitterness in your heart. Okay, so letter C, mapanlinlang ang tamang sagot. Okay, number 13. Matapos ang maghapong gawain, siya ay lugami na. Letter A, yumaman. Letter B, lubog. Letter C, nalungkot. Letter D, lupaypay. May kilala daw si Sir Mark, na ano, sir? Ligwak, sabi ni Ma'am Axel Maricel Alvarez. Power of C. Okay, so again, we'd like to welcome all those people who are watching us on Facebook. Make sure that you come back for our next live stream. We are doing live streams for general education, professional education, all for the purpose of teaching and for helping our let takers pass the let. We are studying Purong Pinoy, and we've been doing this for such a long time already, more than 10 years. We started with Study Link Review Center for Civil Service, for the LET, for MTOP in Iloilo. But now, of course, the entire family, my family is living here in South Carolina, USA, because I'm teaching here in Manning, South Carolina. I used to teach in Ateneo de Iloilo. My name is Ma'am Exaison Manaay. I'm a science teacher, used to teach in Ateneo de Iloilo. Then I taught in Saudi Arabia, went back to Ateneo, continued working in our review center. And of course, in 2018, we came to the US. Okay, we came here because I started teaching here in a high school, public high school here in the US. Okay, so again, we'd like to welcome all of you. Don't forget to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's so many videos that can help you pass the LET. If you want to be part of our exclusive FB group, then that's Grow. I would be discussing again how you can be part of it at the end of our GenEd discussion. So GenEd po would just be 20 items. Okay, so is it yumaman, lubog, nalungkot, lupaypay? The correct answer, of course, would be letter D. Lupaypay would be the correct answer. Okay, so letter D, lupaypay. That means, kakarinig lang ni Ma'am Alvarez na lupaypay, lugami na matapos ang maghapong gawain. Your context clue, of course, would be maghapong gawain, meaning tired na siya, no? Haggard na siya. And so it is letter D, lupaypay po. Lupaypay. Number 14, ang mga nangyari sa kanya ay hampas lamang ng panahon. Sampal, pagsubok, hagupit, palo. Aba, may mga hugot pa dito. Nililin lang niya lang ako, ambi ko, ako lang ginapalangga niya. Akala daw niya, siya lang yung mahal. Yun pala hindi. Okay, now many of you are answering the letter B on YouTube. Dito sa Facebook, ganun din. Ma'am Michelle Zablandizon, thank you po for sharing our video. Ganun din kay Ma'am Jean Saracoma. Maraming salamat po. The correct answer, of course, would be letter B, pagsubok. Tama po kayo. Okay, so kanina mali kayo, ngayon naman ay may tama kayo. Okay, so that's the correct answer. Letter B, pagsubok. Alright, now we go to number 15. Lubhang matigas ang paninindigang ipinamalas niya. Panghakot, prinsipyo, paniniwala, or letter D, pananagot. Oh, wow. Si Sir Vio, wala pang wrong. Okay, meron pa tayong 6 items including number 15. Okay, so sana ma-perfect ni Sir. All right, now, what do you think is the correct answer for question number 15? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 15? Lubhang matigas ang paninindigang ipinamalas niya. Okay, so letter B, karamihan ng answers dito sa YouTube natin. Letter B, dito sa ating Facebook, ganun din. And that would be the correct answer. Prinsipyo. Paninindigan would be prinsipyo. Hindi lamang po paniniwala, but of course, it's something deeper than that, and that's your principles. Okay, these are things that you believe in life. These are your convictions in life. Okay, so letter B is the correct answer. Now, number 16. Ang panukalang inihain niya ay lubhang malalim at mahirap abutin. Anong ibig sabihin ng panukala? Is it layon, mungkahe, proyekto, hiling? Madali lang yung GenEd ngayon, yes. Buti na lang nanindigan daw si Sir Barbosa sa kanyang sagot. Okay, now a lot of you are answering letter B on YouTube. Okay, dito naman sa Facebook, ano pong inyong answer? Okay, so Ma'am Madeline Makalindong, good evening po. Sinabi ni Ma'am Madeline, sana tuloy-tuloy po ang pag-live nyo para sa mga katulad namin na hindi makapasa sa LET exam. Sisikapin po natin, Ma'am. Okay, now iba-iba yung answer na nandito sa ating Facebook. Okay, karamihan naman dito sa ating YouTube ay B. And the correct answer here would be, panukala po is letter B, mungkahi. Okay, in English, this would be suggestion. Okay, so panukala niya, yung mungkahi niya, panukalang batas nga, no? Ibig sabihin ay pinupush pa lang na bill, okay, proposed bill. This would be your mungkahi or suggestion. So letter B is the correct answer. Okay, letter B po ang tamang sagot. Now we go to question number 17. Alin sa mga sumusunod ang hindi akdang pampanitikan na nagdala ng malaking impluensya sa buong daigdig? Alam niyo na to. Okay, paulit-ulit na tong tanong na ito. Is it Divina Commedia, Coran, Banal na Kasulatan, Romeo and Juliet? Okay, we've already discussed some of this in one of our live streams, no? So again, pag hindi nyo pa po napapanood yung ating mga live streams, balikan nyo po yung YouTube namin, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And of course, we have all the live streams there in one playlist. This is actually the 29th na pala. Namali ako doon kahapon. Sabi ko 27th. Yesterday's live stream was already the 28th, and today's live stream is already the 29th live stream that we have. Okay, so if you haven't watched, if the previous live streams is your first time to watch us, make sure that you go to YouTube, check our YouTube channel, Gurung Pinoy Still, and go to our playlist. There's a playlist for GenEd, there's for ProfEd, and of course, there's a playlist for all the previous live streams that we've had. As I've mentioned, this live stream, tonight's live stream is already the 29th. Okay, now many of you are answering letter D. Letter A, karamihan dito sa Facebook. Ma'am Jeremiah Jezreel Jacinto, thank you po for sharing our video. O, wala din daw mali si Sir Ariel Capistrano. Sir Delson, maraming salamat po. Malaking tulong po ito para sa amin. Diyos na po bahala sa inyo. You're welcome po. Sir Choi Didiol. Sir Choi Didiol, ma'am or sir, maraming salamat for sharing our video. Okay, correct answer of course would be letter D, Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet po. Yan po yung sinabi dito, ang hindi. Hindi siya kasama doon sa akdang pampanitikan na nagdala ng malaking impluensya, no? Hindi ko na-include dito sa slide ko. But this was already discussed in one of our previous live streams, Divina Commedia. Okay, nandyan po yan sa literature natin, no? Top literatures natin na nagdala, of course, ng malaking influence all over the world. Quran, no? The holy scriptures of our Muslim brothers and sisters. Banal na kasulatan would be the Biblia. Okay, that's the Bible. Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare, of course, that was not part of it. Okay, so letter D is the correct answer. Now we go to number 18. Nagbigay pansin ito sa kalagayan ng mga alipin na nagbunga ng di pantay na pagtingin sa mga itim. Ito ay sulat ni Harriet Stowe ng Estados Unidos. No Limitangere, Quran, Uncle Tom's Cabin, Book of the Dead. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot? So far, wala pa daw mali si Ma'am Grace. Good job. Okay, now a lot of you here on YouTube are answering the letter C. Oh, sabi ko na sabi ni Ma'am Maricel Alvarez. I'm always telling you, usually your first choice will be the correct answer. Okay, Ma'am Maria Chona Mendoza says, thank you very much. Big help na to para sa amin. God bless po. Late si Ma'am Sam. Okay lang po yan, ma'am. Habol po tayo. Okay, the correct answer, of course, would be letter C, Uncle Tom's Cabin. That's correct, no? So this was written by Harriet Stowe. No Limitangere, of course, this was by Rizal. Quran was just the Holy Quran, no, ng ating mga Muslim brothers and sisters. Book of the Dead was a writing in Egypt. Okay, so here you said, it was said that it was from the United States, and so it was Uncle Tom's Cabin is the correct answer. And we know that this was this has partly influenced Noli Me Tangere din, okay? Because na-influensya din niya si Jose Rizal when he was able to read this. He was influenced to write also a novel, and so he has written Noli Me Tangere. So that's Uncle Tom's Cabin. Okay, so dito po, if you are here in the States, talaga makikita mo yung discrimination between the white and the black. Dati nung nasa Pilipinas pa kami, we're not really aware of it. But now we are very much aware that the black and the white, there's really discrimination no, towards the black communities. Kaya nga meron tayong Black Lives Matter no, a few months ago dahil sa pagkakapatay kay George Floyd. Okay, now number 19, anong uri ang pagbigkas ng salitang dambuhala? Malumi, mabilis, maragsa, malumay. I have posted this on Grow last night. No? Umaga na dyan sa inyo. I have posted this on Grow. So if you are already on Grow, na-discuss ko na to doon sa, na-post ko na to doon sa Grow. Okay, so meron tayong running for perfect scores dito sa YouTube. Si Ma'am Grace at si Servio. Nasaan na si Servio? Okay, now many of your answer will letter C. Late si Ma'am Emeline. Okay lang po yan, ma'am. Habol po kayo. Sir Arvin, our live streams usually start on at 7 a.m. Ay, 7 a.m. dito po sa akin, 7 p.m. po dyan sa inyo. Okay, Saturday, Sunday po. But we will be announcing a new schedule for September because of course, this is the last day na we can have our live stream for August. Okay, now a lot of your answer letters C, maragsa. Okay, let's take a look at the discussion that we have here. All right, so again, we are talking about the different types of pagbigkas, no? Iba-ibang uri ng pagbigkas sa Filipino. Meron ka malumay, malumi, mabilis, at maragsa. Okay, malumay, malumi, mabilis, at maragsa. Mag-umpisa po tayo sa malumay. Binibigkas ito ng dahan-dahan at may diin sa pagbigkas sa ikalawang pantig, buhat sa hulihan. So that means the stress is on the second syllable prior to the end. Okay, second to the last syllable siya. Ito ay hindi ginagamitan ng anumang tuldik o palatandaan. Maaaring magtapos ang salitang malumay sa patinig o katinig. So katinig, of course, that's your consonants, patinig would be your vowels. Okay, so malumay, slowly, you are saying it slowly, and the stress is on the second to the last syllable. There's no tuldik, okay? Walang impit, walang tuldik. Now, example of this would be buhay, okay? Second to the last syllable, so buhay. Dahan-dahan yung pagbigkas, walang impit. Buhay, malumay, kubo, baka, kulay, babae, dahon, apat. Okay? Second to the last syllable, yung inyong stress, dahan-dahan ang pagbigkas, wala pong impit. That's malumay. Ang malumi mo naman ay tulad sa pagbigkas o bigkas ng salitang malumay, so dahan-dahan din siya. May diin din sa ikalawang pantig, so second to the last din. Ang pinagkaiba lamang nito ay may impit na tunog sa dulo. So may ganun siya, no? May impit na tunog sa dulo itong iyong malumi. Ginagamitan siya ng tuldik na paiwa. Tandaan nyo din po yan, lumalabas po yan sa let, no? Anong klase ng tuldik ang ginagamit sa malumi. For example, tingnan nyo din yung kanyang symbol. Baka symbol yung ilagay nila as choices. sa pagpapakilala ng mga salitang binibigkas ng malumi. So again, dahan-dahan siya, almost the same as your malumay. Your stress is on the second to the last syllable, but there is an no? Merong impit na tunog sa dulo ng salitang malumi. So for example, baro, lahi, pagsapi, bata, luha. Okay, so nora honor po ito, no? So Terry honor, nora honor itong malumi. Mayumi, tama, lupa, panlapi. Okay, so that's your malumi. Again, dahan-dahan din yung pagsasalita. Nasa second to the last syllable yung inyong stress, pero may impit siya sa dulo. May impit na tunog sa dulo yung malumi. Okay, so that's malumi. Now, the third type would be mabilis. As the name suggests, ito po ay tuloy-tuloy na binibigkas, so mabilis ang pagkakabigkas. And another difference is that nasa huling pantig ang kanyang diin. So last syllable, yung kanyang diin. Wala itong impit na tunog. So para siyang malumay, kaya lang yung mabilis lang yung pagkakabigkas sa kanya at yung stress niya ay nasa last syllable, not in the second to the last syllable. Ginagamitan ito ng tuldik na pahilis. Pahilis naman po yung tuldik. So again, let's not forget na wala siyang impit na tunog. Okay? So for example, dilaw, pito, kahon, bulaklak, huli. Ito naman ay paggas-abilgas na, no? Paggas-abilgas po ang inyong pagkakabigkas dito. Huli, sapin, buwan, revolusyon. So again, yung stress po ay nasa last syllable. Nasa last syllable, mabilis po ang pagkakabigkas at ginagamitan ng tuldik na pahilis, wala pong impit ang mabilis. Again, nasa grow na po ito. Huwag niyo na pong kopyahin kung nasa grow na po kayo. Alright, now yung maragsa mo naman, yung maragsa is also very similar to your mabilis. Okay, so tuloy-tuloy na binibigkas. Subalit ito po ay may impit sa natunog sa hulihan. Okay? So meron siyang impit na tunog sa hulihan. Tulad ng malumi, ito ay palagi ang nagtatapos sa tunog na patinig. So yung malumi mo and your maragsa would always end with your vowel. Ginagamitan ito ng tuldik na pakupya. Ayan po yung pakupya na inilalagay sa ibabaw ng huling patinig ng salita. So daga, wasto, pasa, tumula, hindi, kumulo, humula, ginawa. Okay? So may impit po siya sa last syllable, mabilis ang pagkakabigkas, that would be maragsa. Alright, so those are the different types of pagbigkas, no, sa Filipino. So going back to question number 19 natin dito, tama kaya kayo o mali kaya kayo? Anong uri ng ang pagbigkas ng salitang dambuhala? Dambuhala. Okay? So, hindi naman siya mabilis, no? Hindi mabilis, hindi dambuhala. Okay? Dambuhala, hindi din. So, we can't say that it's mabilis or maragsa. Mabagal yung pagkakabigkas. Dambuhala. And of course, the stress is on your second to the last syllable. So, we say that maaaring malumi or malumay. Pero since wala naman siyang impit, your correct answer would be malumay, dambuhala. Hindi naman dambuhala. Okay? So, correct answer would be letter D po. Malumay is the correct answer dito. Malumay. Hindi po maragsa. Malumay po ang tamang sagot. Okay? Paano makakasali sa grow? I discuss po after a few minutes. After po ng item number 20. Okay, now we go to number 20. Anong uri ng tayutay ang nasa pahayag na ang halimuyak ng mga bulaklak ay mabuting gamot sa pusong wasa? Okay, is it assonance, consonance, alliteration, onomatopoeia? Dambuhala. Nagka-genocide ba? Sabi ni Sir Ray, genocide. Malumay is the correct answer. Tama po yan. Ma'am Russell, Dayuday, meron po tayong physics. Yes, after po nito may ProfEd po tayo, Sir Jesus. Meron po tayong physics major. I think my husband has already posted with regards to Dr. H. Lagon. Dr. H. Lagon is our physics majorship lecturer. He has been doing that with us for a long time already since we started. He used to be my subject area coordinator sa department head ko siya dati sa Ateneo de Iloilo. Now, he's already the principal of Ateneo de Iloilo now. So, principal na siya ng buong Ateneo de Iloilo, and he is taking care of our physics major. Okay, so he's also a licensed civil engineer. And until now, he's still studying. Hindi ko alam, guidance counseling na naman yata. No? So, doktor na siya ng education. He's also a licensed civil engineer. He's also studying right now yata ng guidance counseling. No? I'm not sure kung graduate na siya. But he's someone who continues to study. And he's the present principal of Ateneo de Iloilo. Used to be my department head of science in Ateneo. And he is giving us a lecture for physics major, physical science. Excuse me. Agriculture and fishery major, meron po, Sir Nelson. Meron po tayo. Yung lectures po natin for B, ano nga yung tawag sa inyong I forgot. Ang tawag sa inyong major, no? Agriculture and fishery, meron po tayo people from BFAR. Yung mga taga BFAR po yung nag-handle ng ating agriculture and fishery majorship. They've also been doing it for several years now with us. Okay, now going back to our question here, anong uri ng tayutay ang nasa pahayag? Ang halimuyak ng mga bulaklak ay mabuting gamot sa pusong wasak. Assonance, consonants, alliteration, onomatopoeia. Okay, so these are our explanation here. When you say assonance, this is the repetition of vowel sounds. Okay, so tandaan nyo, vowel sounds, vawawaw, assonance. Okay, vawawaw, assonance. Vowel sounds, that's assonance. Repetition of vowel sounds, that's assonance. Alliteration naman, your choice C. Alliteration happens when consonant sounds are repeated in two or more words in a sentence. So alliteration mo, this is different from assonance because this is repetition of consonant sounds. So consonant mo naman, yung katinig naman yung inuulit-ulit. Okay, example mo dito, she sells seashells. So yung letter S mo, okay, yung letter S mong inuulit-ulit dyan. So repetition of consonant sounds, that would be alliteration. Repetition of vowel sounds, that would be assonance. Now, what about consonants? Choice B mo, consonants generally occurs when a consonant sounds are repeated in the middle or end of the word. So that means your consonants is very similar to alliteration, but alliteration, your consonant sounds are repeated at the start of the words. Your consonants naman, your consonant sounds are repeated towards the end of the word. Okay, that's consonants. Onomatopoeia, you know this to be using the sounds, okay, sounds for the different words that you have. For example, you say the buzzing bee, okay, the creaking door. So when you are using the sounds as words, that will be onomatopoeia, no? Sumasagitsit na pusit. Okay, onomatopoeia po yan, sumasagitsit. All right, now going back to our question here, halimuyak na mga bulaklak, mabuting gamot sa pusong wasak. Okay, so that means meron pong consonant sounds na inuulit-ulit towards the end of the words. And so the correct answer here would be letter B po, consonants. Okay, so consonants is the correct answer. Consonants po ang ating tamang sagot for number 20, letter B, that's consonants. Okay, so habol po kayo, lahat ng mga na-late, habol-habol po. Okay, now, again, for those of you who are asking how to join GROW, GROW po is Gurong Pinoy Review Online Work Group. This is our exclusive FB group. This is where we send all the exclusive materials, the ones that we're discussing here in our live streams, the questions, plus the answers, also the explanations, and the rest of the slides that we can share with you. You just go to GROW, Gurong Pinoy Review Online Work Group. And for you to be able to join us and to get approved, you need to just pay 500 pesos. That's through Palawan, Cebuana ML. The name, address, phone number are there. Those belong to my sister-in-law. So once you have sent your money po, please do make sure that you take a picture of your receipt and send it through our Facebook page, Gurong Pinoy's Facebook page, through a private message. And then, of course, we will be adding you to GROW. Another Another option for you is to just ask someone to pay it for you, and then of course ask for the picture of the receipt, and then ikaw pa rin po yung magpadala ng screenshot ng picture ng yung receipt mo through a Facebook a message, no, private message po sa Gurong Pinoy na Facebook page. And another option would be to give us a super sticker during our live streams on YouTube. So you can go to YouTube, because while we are having our live streams here on Facebook, we are also having one on YouTube. It is simultaneous. It's at the same time. Or you can go to YouTube and give us a super sticker worth 500, and we can very well add you to Grow. Okay, so again, that's Grow po. That's a one-time payment. I'd like to stress, one-time payment po yan until you take the LET, okay, in March of 2021. All right, so thank you so much, Ligwak. Okay, so we continue with ProfEd. Let's not, letter B po, yung answer, Sir Alvi. Okay, we start with ProfEd. It's 8:03, so we'll start directly with ProfEd. But of course, before we do that, don't forget to like this video, heart this video, say wow to this video, like our video. People on YouTube, I can only see 55 people liking this video. Please do like the video, don't forget, and like this video, heart this video. If you're watching on Facebook, share it with your friends, tag your friends, start a watch party, share it in the group, share it on your Facebook account, okay? And of course, make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, you like our Facebook page so that you can be notified of all the new materials that we are going to have. Now, before I forget again, those of you who would like to join our first ever online acquaintance party that's going to be on September 12, magpalista na po kayo sa lahat ng contest na gusto nyong salihan. There will be cash prizes. Okay, so pwede po kayong mag-join kahit nasa ilang contest pa gusto nyo mag-join. Meron po tayong 4 na contest doon. There's t-shirt design contest, there's poetry, no, spoken poetry contest, there's a singing contest, and of course there's a TikTok dance challenge contest. Okay, so magpalista po kayo doon, and we are going to have the online acquaintance party on September 12. Okay, so again, magpalista po kayo, hanapin niyo po yung nakapost sa aming official Facebook page, the same Facebook page that's hosting the live stream right now. At mag-comment po kayo doon kung ano pong gusto nyong contest na salihan. So again, meron po tayong cash prize. So make sure that you grab the chance not only to win the cash prize, but also, of course, to share your talent and, of course, to give happiness to all our kaguro. Okay, so we are going to have fun on September 12th po. So make sure that you join us and that you participate in our competition so that mas masaya po tayo. Okay, so again, that's Grow, and that's our online acquaintance party. As for the schedule for our live stream in September, that will still be in the weekend, but we are going to finalize the schedule po, and I will be posting it in Gurong Pinoy's Facebook page. Okay, we proceed with professional education. Okay, number 1. This school of thought states that language is learned through imitation, repetition, and reinforcement. Okay, meron tayo dapat comma dito. Imitation, repetition, and reinforcement. Is it letter A, cognitivism? Letter B, psycholingualism. Letter C, structuralism. Letter D, behaviorism. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 1? Thank you, Ma'am Leon, for tagging your friends. Maraming salamat po. Again, if this is your first time to watch us, make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. That's still Gurong Pinoy. There are so many videos there that can help you pass the LET. So punta niyo po yung aming YouTube channel. There's a playlist for GenEd. There's a playlist for ProfEd, and of course, there's a playlist for all the previous live streams that we've had. Meron din po tayong MAPE. Meron din po tayong math, of course. Okay, so abangan niyo po yan. Magpo-post po tayo about majorship. Hello, Ma'am Tonette Villanueva, first-timer. Welcome po sa ating live stream. Okay, now, number 1, many people on YouTube are answering letter D. Dito sa Facebook, wala pa nag-answer. Okay, so again, We are already at question number 1. Many of you on YouTube are answering letter D, and that is the correct answer. This is behaviorism, okay? Learning through imitation, repetition, and reinforcement. Okay, we all know that these are all concepts under behaviorism. Hindi po siya psycholingualism, pinaganda lang po yung mga terms na yan. Cognitivism, of course, would be storing of knowledge lang no, sa brain ng bata. Structuralism, this is a study of word structures, hindi din po yan. Behaviorism is the correct answer. Okay, now we go to number 2. You combine several subject areas in order to focus on a single concept for interdisciplinary teaching. Which strategy did you use? Letter A, unit method. Letter B, thematic instruction. Letter C, reading, writing activity. Letter D, problem-centered learning. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question number 2? Okay, again, we'd like to welcome all those people who are watching us for the first time on Facebook. Welcome po. Tuloy po kayo sa aming live stream. And we hope that you have a happy time learning with us. Kain po tayo. Okay, again, we're already at number 2. You combine several subject areas in order to focus on a single concept for interdisciplinary teaching. What strategy is used? Okay, a lot of you on YouTube are answering the letter B. Okay, dito sa Facebook, ganun din, no? Karamihan din letter B, and that is the correct answer. This is thematic instruction. So you actually have one theme. Meron na kayong one theme. When we say interdisciplinary teaching, iba-ibang subjects, okay? Several subject areas in order to focus on a single concept. So you usually do this when I was still in Ateneo. We do this prior to the beginning of the semester because we all know when I was already teaching in the senior high school, and we all know na yung kalakaran ngayon sa Pilipinas ay puro na performance task, di ba? Puro na performance task. So prior to the beginning of the semester, what we do is we have a meeting, we write all the performance tasks that we have on the board, and then we try to check kung merong mga subjects na pwedeng i-combine. Okay? Dahil performance task kasi is a major project, is a major percentage of their grade, no? 40% ba, if I'm not mistaken. So what we do is we try to find some things, some concepts that we can combine. For example, may projects sila sa science, research, for example. Tapos meron din silang research na subject, and then meron silang IT na subject. So pwede nilang i-present through a PowerPoint presentation. So isa na lamang yung nagiging project nila. We try to merge as many subject areas as possible para hindi mahirapan yung bata at para din hindi mahirapan yung teacher kasi isang aspect na lang ng proyekto yung i-check mo. Okay, so that's thematic instruction, which is of course very important. Kasi usually, ang mga bata sa Pinas, di ba, pagka PT, kapag ka-performance task, malaking project ay sometimes they'd stay up late para matapos lamang yung proyekto. So, as teachers, we should also help them, no? Huwag namang masyadong pabigat sa mga bata, no? Hindi na nakakatulog yung bata dahil lang sa kagustuhan nating maipasa, magpasa sila ng project. Okay, letter A, unit method. We all know what unit method is. So, if you are teaching by the unit, you clump up, you group all the topics in one unit, and then usually just give a unit test. Okay, that's a unit method. Reading, writing activity, you know this. Problem-centered learning, you know this. It's student-centered learning, so you give them a problem, and then they solve it on their own. Okay, so letter B po would be the correct answer. Yes, integrated. Tama po yan, Ma'am Checky. Now, number 3, having a mock presidential election complete with debates, discussion of issues, and voting prepare students for letter A, the listening skills, letter B, decision-making process, letter C, the skill to win in debates, letter D, the art of winning an election. Sir George Morna, go po. Habol po, Sir George. Okay, maraming salamat for watching us on Facebook. If this is your first time to watch us, make sure that you like our Facebook page and you are notified for all the next live streams that we have. You can also go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, check the playlist for GenEd, playlist for ProfEd, and of course, playlist For all the 29 live streams that we have a separate playlist for that, GenEd and ProfEd live stream playlist. So tingnan nyo po yan. We are studying Gurong Pinoy, your kaguro, and of course, we are helping you pass the LET. This is free. Our live stream is free, but of course, you can also be part of a grow for you to receive our exclusive materials, and you can be part of grow. And I have already mentioned how you can be part of it. You can check that later once we're done with our discussion. Okay, now what do you think is the correct answer here? Okay, B, karamihan dito B sa ating YouTube. Dito sa ating Facebook, B din, and that would be the correct answer, decision-making process. Okay, so this is actually a simulation activity to, and so the students would hear the debates, the platforms of your candidates. They would be discussing issues, and of course, they will be voting. So this is letter B, decision-making process. Now we go to number 4. Teacher Celso gave his first grade class a page with a story in which pictures take the place of some words. Which method did he use? We've already discussed this before. So those people who have been with us, especially on YouTube, bonus na to sa inyo. Is it the language experience approach, the whole language approach, the Spalding method, or the rebus method? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question number 4? All right. Okay, so again, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 4? Karamihan dito, rebus method, yung answer na letter D. On YouTube, again, we've already mentioned this before. This was already part of one of our live streams before. And the correct answer po is the rebus method. So on your screen, you have an example. No? The sky was blue, the sun shone down, fish swam beneath the waves, no? Or beneath the water. Okay, so that's your rebus method. Yung Spalding method mo po is very similar to your whole language approach. So whole language yung pagtiteach ng inyong language. Hindi siya tiniteach na separately as vocabulary, as writing, as reading, hindi po. Sama-sama. A whole language approach is also just your Spalding method. The language experience approach naman po, you're using this usually whenever you are you are telling a story to your little ones, no? Pag meron kayong anak, meron kayong mga pamangkin, tapos you are telling them a story, and you are using their experience, usually nga, ginagamit mo din yung name nila, no? That's the language experience approach. Mas nagiging relatable siya kasi sa bata, no? So, if you know that I have a daughter, my daughter is just 3 years old, she's baby Rain. Sometimes I be posting also her videos on Gurong Pinoy, no? So yesterday we posted one video of her making slime. Okay, and usually I tell her some stories. Last night I told her not to leave her food dahil may nakita kaming cockroach. So we said, you know what? The cockroach in this house called all of her friends and told them that there's a house there that has a lot of food for us. Okay, so that's why all the cockroach are now here in our house. Because mahilig siyang magtira-tira ng mga pagkain niya, no? Kung saan-saan nilalagay. Minsan tinatago sa ilalim ng upuan, no? Sa ilalim ng pillow. Alam niyo naman yung bata. Okay, so that's the language experience approach. Ginagamit natin yung experience ng bata, yung names ng bata, para mas maging relatable sa kanya yung ating storya. Okay, but of course, the correct answer for number 4 is the rebus method. Okay, number 5, in your attempt to develop creative thinking skills, you want to test fluency of ideas. Which activity will be most appropriate? Is it letter A, compare pictures 1 and 2? What's the difference? Letter B, list animals covered with hair in 1 minute. Letter C, solve this math problem. Letter D, solve this puzzle. Okay. Ano kaya yung sagot for question number 5? Tumpak si Ma'am Axel Maricel Alvarez. Sir Jesus, we've just discussed po kung paano makakasali sa Grow. I'd be repeating it towards the end. Okay, so again, naipakita na po natin kanina sa screen natin, Sir Jesus. Pwede nyo din pong balikan later. Makikita po siya at the beginning of the video. Nasa gitna din po siya ng ProfEd and GenEd. And I'd also be looking at the last slide. I'm not sure kung nandun pa yung details sa last slide. But you can check po later after you're done with the live stream kung pwede niyo pong puntahan. Okay, in your attempt to develop creative thinking skills, you want to test fluency of ideas. Okay, which activity will be most appropriate? Nakaramihan ng sagot dito sa YouTube, A and D. Dito naman sa Facebook, na-late pala si Sir Jesus. Nasa between po siya ng GenEd and ProfEd. Meron po doon na discussion. Meron din po at the beginning of the video. Okay, now, whenever you say fluency, pag sinabi mo kasing fluency, this is the generation of a lot of ideas at a very short time. Okay, so when you say fluency, this means generating so many ideas at such a short period of time. Okay, so fluency of ideas, you want to test fluency of ideas, that's giving a lot of ideas for such a short period of time. And having said that, the correct answer, of course, would be letter B. List animals covered with hair in 1 minute. Okay, so the time is very short, just 1 minute, and they need to list all the animals that they know that's covered with hair. Okay, so fluency po yan, that's letter B. List animals covered with hair in 1 minute. All right, now we go to number 6. Geography is largely important in the curriculum because it deals with people, it affects our appearance, it deals with physical environment, it affects our social awareness. Habol po, Sir Kwang Kok. Oh, may mga nag-awa-awa na dito. Ouch. May ouch pa, oh. Social naman ni Sir Barbs. Ouch. Ma'am Christine Agoy. Okay, now many of you are answering letter C. So number 6 nyo, dito naman sa ating Facebook, iba-iba yung sagot. Okay. Ma'am Marielle Molining, thank you po for sharing our video. Geography is largely important in the curriculum because it deals with people, it affects our appearance, it deals with physical environment, it affects our social awareness. Again, we're talking about curriculum, how your school is taught, what are the things that are included in your school's in school's curriculum, no? So geography daw sabi is largely important in the curriculum because we all know that the school and the community, their influence is cyclical. Okay, so the school influences the community or the society also influences the school. And your correct answer here, you should not have taken this as literal na geography na subject, which studies about the physical environment. So it's not really dealing with people. It deals partly with people. It affects our appearance, po pwede din naman. It deals with physical environment. Ito po yung meaning ng geography as a subject, no? But the correct answer here is it affects our social awareness. Dahil kung saan tayo bansa na pinanganak, for example, we're not really just talking about geography as a subject here. Whenever you are born, wherever you are born, no, your social awareness is greatly influenced by the geography or the place where you were born. So kung pampered yung bata, for example, no, isolated yung bata, like for example, yung bata is si Rapunzel, you know that the social awareness of Rapunzel would also be very limited. If you were in, di ba nga sa Pilipinas tayo, masyado tayong nakafocus sa ating pag-aaral dahil nga sinasabi natin lagi, no, geography here, this would also cover in part na din yung kultura natin. So social awareness talaga would be the correct answer. It affects our social awareness. This is still in the concept that school and the environment, school and the society are cyclical in nature. Okay, so the school influences society, society also influences the school. All right, so the correct answer here would be letter D. Agoy, impas, ligwak, sala na, isa pa lang, ligwak. Okay, so number 6 po, letter D would be the correct answer. Okay, now we go to number 7. Values get into a person's system through action, studies, experiences, none of these. Yes, tama yan. Sabi ni Sir Jesus, if you believe in yourself, you will pass. Be positive. Kaya po tayo nagkakaroon ng live stream, kaya po tayo nagpa-practice para po wag na po kayong magka-problema sa inyong nalalapit na let. Magandang gabi po, Ma'am Mary Rose Lucido. Habol po kayo. May problem ka talaga sa first choice mo, Ma'am Maricel? Okay, so again, usually nga sabi natin, your first choice is usually the correct answer. Okay, so don't change your first choice unless you have a very valid reason to change it. Okay, now number 7. Okay, a lot of you are answering the letter C, letter A. Values get into a person's system through actions ba? Studies ba? Experiences? None of this. The correct answer, of course, would be letter C, through your experience. Experience po would be the correct answer. Not just actions, not just studies. Okay, but this is through our experience. Meron kasi tayong tinatawag na learning, which is it's not really something that happened to us, but also based on some other people's experience. So even if you don't take action sometimes, you can still learn from your own experience. So letter C po ang tamang sagot. Letter C is the correct answer for number 7. Wala po silang binibigay, Ma'am Maria Chona, wala po silang binibigay na schedule for the LEP. The last time that I've read was that January 29th, 2021 is the last last day of filing for your LEP. Okay, so we don't know yet po kung kailan yung magiging schedule. Okay, experience is the best teacher, sabi ni Ma'am Buenafe. Okay, number 8. This is an assessment given to know the areas for revision and aspects where learners need help or directives. Is it letter A, diagnostic, letter B, evaluative, letter C, formative, letter D, both A and C? Okay lang yan. Bumawi ba yung ProfEd sa inyo? Ang dami niyong tama kanina sa GenEd, tapos binawi ng ProfEd. Okay lang po yan. Don't give up. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 8? Okay, now people on YouTube, my A, my D. All right, now the question here says an assessment given to know the areas for revision and aspects where learners need help or directives. Okay, need help or directives. Yung revision dito, this is a British term we use for review. Okay, those people who are teaching in the UAE, no, Abu Dhabi, sa Saudi Arabia, if you are teaching the British curriculum, then you know that revision means review. So review tong revision. The areas for review and aspects where learners need help or directives. Now, we know that diagnostic mo is for measuring the weaknesses and the strengths of your students. So pwede mo siyang gamitin to gauge where areas, on which areas your students would be needing help, okay, or directives. And evaluative mo naman, usually this is your summative test. This is given at the end of instruction. Formative, this is an assessment that is given during instruction. Okay, so diagnostic is prior to instruction, formative is during instruction, and of course, your evaluative or your summative is during or after instruction na siya, after instruction. Usually, formative tests or formative assessments, hindi natin siya ginagamit in grading. No? Hindi siya graded usually. Okay? Now, again, sa formative mo, makikita mo rin kung saan yung weakness nila, kung saan parte yung kailangan mo silang i-review, no? Kailangan i-revisit, which gives us the correct answer to be letter D. Okay, so letter D po, both A and C are correct. Okay, both A and C is correct. Okay, so letter D is the correct answer. Now we go to number 9. An examination requires that the personal opinion of the marker does not affect the mark. This is Objectivity, certainty, effectivity. Letter D, only A and C. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 9? Good morning, Madam Cynthia Nadal, our good friend, our ate here in the US. Kumusta po yung Cynthia's Kitchen? We're looking forward to tasting the products of Cynthia's Kitchen again. Marapit na po yung holiday, Ma'am Cynthia. Pakisabi po kay Papangbong. Okay, sa 7th po, it's a holiday. So, punta po kayo dito. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question number 9? Number 9. Okay, now dito sa ating YouTube, maraming D. Aba. So dahil kanina ay D yung answer, prior to this, D yung answer, D din ngayon yung sinasagot nyo. Aha, para magkakaroon ng genocide. Okay, now an examination requires that the personal opinion of the marker does not affect the mark. This means your personal opinion mo should not be affecting how you score it. That's why you should have your rubric, you should have your scoring guide. If it is an essay test that you're trying to check, you should cover the name of your student. Okay, dapat hindi mo nakikita yung name para you will not be biased. And the correct answer here is, this is what you call objectivity. This is being objective. You're not being subjective, meaning wala kang bias. You're being objective, you're being fair, you are grading it as it is. Okay? You're not giving it your personal opinion. So letter A po ang tamang sagot. Okay? Tama yata si Sir Loreto. Mag-A na kaya tayo. Oh, change to A. Okay, Sir Chris, nag-change to A pa. I think letter D, Sir Daming se, A is the correct answer. Parang A kanina yung answer mo, sir. Tapos nag-change ka pa to D. Okay, so the correct answer here, again, for number 9 is objectivity, meaning you have no bias in your checking. You're not using your personal opinion. And so as teachers, you should be using your scoring guide, your rubric. You should be covering the names of your students whenever you're checking their essay tests. Okay, so letter A po ang tamang sagot. Okay, now we go to number 10. The collaborative approach includes the behaviors of listening, clarifying, presenting, problem-solving, and blank. Assessing, evaluating, negotiating, feedbacking. Nakahabol pa, ha? May mga palusotong ibang mga nag-change ng answer dito. Humabol. Nakahabol pa daw. Ayan, daming ligwak, sabi ni Ma'am Maricel. Wrong again. Okay lang po yan, ma'am. Importante po natututo po kayo. Para po, pagdating sa let, hindi na po kayo wrong. Tama na po yung answer nyo. Okay, now, aba, sama-sama itong mga taga-YouTube, oh, pare-pareho yung answer. Puro letter B. Genocide na naman kaya yung mangyayari? Okay, now, the collaborative approach. Sabi dito, ano nga ba yung mga behaviors that are included in your collaborative approach? No? Is it the behaviors of listening, by clarifying, presenting, problem solving, and the last part would be collaborative approach. Of course, we'd use this whenever we have events, no? So usually we'd start with, pag may event kayo, kunwari linggo ng wika, okay? You start with listening first. So magkakaroon muna kayo ng unang meeting. Okay, today we are going to meet about our linggo ng wika activity, no? So may magpe-preside at ito yung gagawin nyo. So you are just listening. Now, if you have questions, of course, you need to clarify. Okay, question lamang po doon po sa sinasabing uniform. Meron po tayong uniform sa ating linggo ng wika. Gagamitin po ba natin yung barong A or yung barong B? Okay, so that's clarifying. Ano po yung gagawin ng mga bata? Bibili po ba tayo ng flags or gagawa po ba sila ng flags? So that's clarifying. Then of course, you have your presentation. Meron ka ng program. Okay, so program ka na. Maglilibot na yung mga bata, no? Linggo ng wika. For example, pag may parade sila, may mga singing contest, may dance contest, so that's presentation. If there are going to be some problems, of course, you need to solve those problems. Pag may technical difficulties, for example, yung contestant number 1 hindi na-play yung song dahil hindi niya na-rewind, no? Mali yung song na na-play dahil hindi niya na-rewind, puntahan mo muna yung contestant number 2. Okay? So that's problem solving. And of course, the last part for this would be, ano nga bang ibig sabihin, ano nga ba yung tamang sagot? Ano nga bang last part ng yung collaborative approach? Assessing and evaluating, of course, that is these two are very similar, no? Halos pareho tong evaluation mo and assessment. Negotiating, you don't need negotiation in your collaborative approach. The correct answer here would be letter D. Feedbacking po ang tamang sagot. Feedbacking. You need feedbacking. Okay, so after you had your meeting, you clarified, you already have your activity. If there are problems, you solve it. And of course, there should be feedbacking. So, hindi ko alam kung ginagawa to sa ibang schools, no? Sa inyong schools, when we were in Ateneo, we do this. Okay, we do this. So, after an activity, we'd have the evaluation. So, we try to check kung ano yung mga good points doon, ano yung mga tamang ginawa, anong mga tamang nangyari, at ano naman yung mga areas for improvement. Ano yung kailangan namin i-change para sa susunod na activity ay magiging mas maganda na yung ating activity. Okay, so feedbacking po is the correct answer. Hahabol pa ba tayo? Sabi ni Sir Loreto. Okay, so the correct answer would be letter D, feedbacking. Alright, now we go to number 11. Oh, ayan, yung mga nagpalit pa kayo, tama na yung answer nyo, di ba? Ligwak. Oh, si Ma'am Chona daw, nagpalit na nga, mali pa rin. Oh, yes, tama yan, Ma'am Maricel. Binibigay yan after ng activity. Okay, number 11, which practice helps the teachers maximize instruction time? Maximize discipline time, minimize discipline time, employ a reactive approach to discipline. Letter D, avoid classroom routines. Kakapagod humabol, sabi ni Sir Pinoy. Aba, may hugot. Kain tayo ulit ng saging. Oh, Xmas na daw. Christmas na daw sa answer sheet ni Sir Pinoy. Puro na red. Ang lapit ng magparamdam ni Sir Jose Marichan, no? 2 tulog na lamang. Okay, ngayong gabi at susunod na gabi, pagkatapos ay andyan na siya. Pero narinig ko, sinabi ng husband ko last night na namumroblema daw si Jose Marichan dahil dati daw kapag ka-bare months na, ang dami niyang offers, ang daming racket. But of course ngayon, dahil nga sa pandemic, wala siyang masyadong racket, no? But of course, he is blessed dahil kada bear, patok siya, no? Kada bear, sumisikat siya ulit. Okay, now, number 11, which practice helps the teachers maximize instruction time? This means we are giving more time for instruction. We are giving more time for teaching. Okay, so saan dito yung makakapagbigay sa atin ng mas maraming oras sa teaching? Is it maximize discipline time? So mas mahabang oras igugugol mo sa pagdidisiplina sa mga bata. Minimize discipline time. Employ a reactive approach to discipline. Pag reactive po, ang sinasabing reactive, saka ka lang gagawa ng rules pag meron ng nangyaring masama. Kung meron ng misbehavior, saka ka lang gagawa ng rules mo. Ang opposite po nito ay proactive. Ang proactive naman, prevention is better than cure. Yan yung sinasabi ng proactive mo. You don't wait for something to happen, magbibigay ka na ng rules mo or guidelines mo. Is it letter D, avoid classroom routine? So wala kang routine, wala kang usual na ginagawa when you're passing the paper, when they want to go to the restroom, wala silang routine na ginagamit, no? Wala silang routine na sinusundan. And of course, the correct answer here would be letter B, minimize discipline time. Hindi po magandang ginagamit yung reactive approach. Dapat po kasi proactive yung ating magiging approach. Do not wait for some misbehavior to happen before you set your rules. Kaya nga sinistate natin yung mga rules natin at the beginning of the school year. Kaya paulit-ulit po yan sinasabi natin sa kanila because you should not assume that your students understand and that your students can remember your rules. So paulit-ulit po. Letter B kasi, minimize discipline time. So that means kung konti na lamang yung time na ginugugol mo sa pagdidisiplina sa kanila, dahil proactive nga yung approach mo, naintindihan na nila yung rules mo, alam na nila na state mo, and of course, dahil meron kang routines. Okay, so alam na nila yung gagawin nila. For example, if they have to go to the restroom, alam nila yung gagawin nila. Hindi na sila magsasalita, hindi sila tatayo lang ng kusa. Okay, they know that they need to raise their hand, and then they can say that they need to go to the restroom, and then they can sign out, then they can go out. Okay, so those are some of your routines. So letter B is the correct answer. Letter B po. Okay, number 12, which is a sound classroom management practice? Andito yung magandang classroom management practice. Give students very easy tasks to lighten their load, occupy students with extremely difficult tasks, be preventive in approach, be reactive in approach. Oh, yun na, Sir Loreto, yung inyong presidente, sabi ni Sir Loreto, haha, Sir Mark Toledo, tama na tayo. Ano, sasama kayo sa next sagot? Sama-sama na lang ba sa next sagot? Hi, Sir Lesde, 1, 2, 3. Lesde, 1, 2, 3. Good evening po. First timer yata ni Sir. Welcome po sa ating YouTube live stream. Meron din po tayo sa Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page. Go to our YouTube and check all of the videos that we have in our playlists for GenEd, for ProfEd, and of course for our live streams. Kakasabi ko lang nito, di ba? I've just explained this a while ago. Hirap ng ProfEd. Tama na sana yung first choice, pinalitan pa. Okay, again, we'd like to welcome all those people who have just joined us. Ma'am Genevieve Balonon, Ma'am Lepes Lascunia. Okay, welcome po sa aming live stream. This is our live stream discussion of GenEd and professional education items. We're already at item number 12 for ProfEd. Okay, so ProfEd na po to, item number 12. Oh, Sir Lucio, nandito ka din. Lumipat ka dito sa Facebook, Miniwan mo yung YouTube. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Which is a sound classroom management practice? And we know that the correct answer is letter C. Kaka-discuss ko lang po nito. Okay, mas maganda po yung letter C. Preventive ka. You state your rules, your classrooms, your procedures prior to the beginning of all the lessons. Okay, para naintindihan na nila, alam na nila kung anong bawal at kung anong hindi bawal. Okay, so that's letter C. Be preventive in approach. Number 13, if you want your pupils to master the multiplication table, which activity is most fit? Letter A, drill. Letter B, game. Letter C, reflection. Letter D, simulation. Yes, first time nga daw ni Sir Leslie, 1, 2, 3. Welcome po. Alright, ano kayang tamang sagot dito for question number 13? Good evening po, Sir Darwin Perfecto Bagayawa. Habol po tayo. Okay, karamihan sa inyo, your sagot, your answer is letter A. Okay, and we know that that is the correct answer. I've already mentioned this before. Whenever you see the term mastery, drill, and criteria, okay, mastery, drill, criteria, criterion reference, magkakasama po silang lahat. Okay, magkakasama po silang lagi. So pag nakita mo mastery at may drill sa choice, yan na po yung tamang sagot. Okay, drill would be the correct answer. Now, game, we all know what the game is, reflection. Ito yung tinitingnan mo kung ano nangyari, ano nga ba kailangan kong baguhin, no? You are reflecting. And simulation, of course, examples of this would be your example natin kanina, no? Voting for your student government. Simulation. You are making them practice what happens in real life. Okay, but the correct answer here would be number 13, letter A, drill. Maraming salamat, Kapitana Norhana Ismael, for your ayuda. Thank you po, Ma'am Norhana. Okay, number 14, you want your better students to overlearn what they have learned and, at the same time, help them to master the lesson. Which activity would be best? practice, game, finalization, peer tutoring. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question number 14? Yon, check din. Sir Ian Altamia, first timer. Welcome po. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also like our Facebook page so that you can join our next live streams po. Meron din po tayong exclusive FB group called GROW, Group Pinay Review Online Work Group, where we pass all the exclusive materials that we have. So you can also join us. How to join us, you can find that at the beginning of this video, also between GenEd and ProfEd. You may just review that later. Okay, nakaramihan sa inyo on YouTube, also on Facebook. Your answer is letter A. Sir Carson Yanan on nag-message. Absent daw siya ngayon dahil may OT. Okay, now when you say overlearning, sabi dito, we need to practice the information over and over again until it becomes firmly fixed in our brain. This process of overlearning can help us retain information longer. Frequent review will also give the same effect because it allows, okay? So practice, yung pinakabuod nito, practice pong kailangan para ma-overlearn nyo ang isang concept. By overlearning, that means it is firmly fixed na in your brain. Okay, so you want your better students to overlearn what they have learned at the same time to master. Okay, mastery. So that means that's drill or letter A, practice. Okay, yes, almost the same siya sa question number 13. Tama si Ma'am Elsie Saludes. Okay, so which activity would be best for overlearning? For mastery, that's practice, letter A. 15. For an effective presentation of Article 14 of the Philippine Constitution, which is most appropriate? Letter A, direct instruction. Letter B, team game. Letter C, simulation. Letter D, independent study. Sir Ruel Loyal, first timer din. Welcome po sa ating YouTube and Facebook live streams. Make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, that you like our Facebook page so that you know when the next live streams will be. Practice makes perfect, sabi ni Sir Park Sinyong. Tama po. Okay, so again, number 15, for an effective presentation of Article 14 of the Philippine Constitution. So again, here, we are talking about the Philippine Constitution, okay? We all know that this is very technical, okay? This is a very technical topic and usually in passing ito, no, mabilis ang pag-discuss ito. The correct answer here would be, it's not team game. You can't use your team game here. You can't use a simulation para mo sa simulate itong Philippine Constitution. Also cannot use independent study because this, I've already mentioned, is very technical, so it needs the help of some experts, and that will be letter A, direct instruction po to. So karamihan, pag we're talking about Philippine Constitution, we are doing lectures. Okay, so lecture form po siya. And that means letter A, direct instruction. Now, before I continue, again, those people who are watching us on YouTube, make sure that you like this video. Please like this video. Some of you have not liked this video yet. Okay, please like this video. If you're watching us on Facebook, heart, thumbs up, wow this video. And you may also share this in your Facebook account, in some of the groups that you've joined. Start a watch party or maybe tag your friends. Okay, tag your friends. Again, YouTube people, please like this video if you haven't done so yet. Okay, number 16. To determine your pupils' entry knowledge and skills, which should you employ? Letter A, pre-test. Letter B, post-test. Letter C, focus group discussion. Letter D, interview. Ayun, tumatama na kayo. Okay, another check. Alright, ganyan talaga. Okay, pag tayo ay merong mga pagsubok sa buhay na nadadapa tayo, kailangan natin bumangon. Okay, so do not give up. Learn ng punang learn. Just learn from your mistakes. Okay, so again, many of you are answering with the letter A here. Sir Marvin Pagapuslan, first timer ba ni Sir Marvin? Hindi. Okay, now many of you are answering letter A. Again, your hint here is pupils' entry knowledge. Okay, entry knowledge and skills. Which one should you employ? And of course, that will be your letter A, pre-test. Pre-test is your diagnostic test. This is given prior to instruction. So bago mag-instruct, bago ka mag-start teaching, you give them a pre-test. Okay, so post-test mo naman dito, this is already summative. This is given after the discussion. Focus group discussion, you know what this means. So there's a group and they're discussing about a certain concept. Interview, alam nyo na din yung ibig sabihin nito. So yung letter A is the correct answer. Pre-test po ang tamang sagot. 17. Which learning style groups are manipulatives most effective? Letter A, interpersonal style group, mastery style group, self-expressive style group, or letter D, understanding style group. Ma'am Elsie Saludes, entry skills and knowledge po yung mini-measure natin. That means yung kung anong dala na nila, kung ano nang alam nila about the subject. Okay, so it's pre-test. Pre-test po kasi is diagnostic test. So binibigay siya to measure the weaknesses and the strengths of your students with regards to the subject. Okay, now number 17. Which learning style groups are manipulatives most effective? Interpersonal style, mastery style, self-expressive style, understanding style. Good evening po, Ma'am Menchi. Anyo Nuevo. First timer yata si Ma'am Menchi. Welcome po. Sir Vincent Butron from Surigao City. Good evening po. Sir Vincent. Okay, now iba-iba yung sagot nyo. May A, B, may C, D. Okay? Dito sa ating Facebook, karamihan B. All right, now we go to our question here. Which learning style groups are manipulatives most effective? These are some examples of your manipulatives, no? So many of them are used in math. Others are used to express certain ideas. Okay, so yung mga tangrams mo, ayan, yung mga different shapes mo, form ka ng shape mo. Ito, yung mga fractions mo, no? Fraction blocks mo. Yan lahat are called manipulatives dito. Ito naman ginagamit to for counting, no? If you are trying to teach them how to count, this one is for fraction, even for time, okay? Time, yan po yung mga manipulatives natin. So karamihan sa kanila, ginagamit siya for math. Others are also used to, of course, express one's ideas. Okay, now, if you have your 4-style strategies, ito po yung 4-style strategies, sinasabi na if you want your lesson to be holistic, dapat you also give some importance to these 4 styles. Okay, so 4-style strategies nga yung sinasabi. Yung mastery strategies mo, this is to focus sharply on increasing students' abilities to remember and summarize. Okay, so mastery is for remembering and summarization. Yung interpersonal strategies mo naman, this is for relationships. Motivates students through their drive for membership and relationships. Understanding strategies mo, this is to develop students' capacities to reason. So this is logic, reasoning. Okay, so dyan din, no, meron tayong logic. Okay, this is also for arousing curiosity through mysteries, etc. Self-expressive strategies mo naman, this highlight students' abilities to imagine and create. Okay, they use imagery, metaphor, pattern, and what-ifs to motivate students' drive toward individuality and originality. Okay, now, so what learning style groups are manipulatives most effective? We have just seen the different types of manipulatives that we have, those things that they can work on using their hands. They can create several things that they want to create using the manipulatives. And the correct answer here, of course, would be letter C. Self-expressive style group po ang tamang sagot. Letter C po is the correct answer for question number 17. Okay, self-expressive. All right, now we go to number 18, which is good for organizing and summarizing. Cartoons, interview, case study, PowerPoint presentation. If you want to organize your data, if you want to summarize all the data that you have or data, okay, what should be the correct choice? Oh, napayehe si Sir Jess. Tama ang sagot. Okay, again, if you're watching us for the first time, make sure that you like our Facebook page. Go to YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have so many videos that can help you pass the lab. So go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also watch us live on Facebook and also YouTube right now. Make sure that you like our Facebook page and that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel so that you can be notified of our next live streams. Okay, so again, we'd like to welcome all those people who are here watching us for the first time. Welcome po. Okay, now, what do you think is the correct answer for question number 18? You want to organize and summarize your data. The correct answer here would be letter D, PowerPoint presentation. Ito po yung kailangan nating or po pwede nating gamitin for organization and summarization. Okay, hindi po cartoons, hindi interview, hindi case study. Okay, PowerPoint presentation would be the better choice. So letter D would be the correct answer. Yes, Sir Lucio, meron pong konting delay sa Facebook. Kukonti lang naman po, ilang segundo. Okay, number 19. You want to present the characteristic features of a constructivist approach. Which should you use in summarizing? Frame narrative, Venn diagram, fishbowl diagram, attribute wheel. Okay, napayehe. Ang daming napayehe, ah. Okay, many people on YouTube are already answering. They're answering letter D. Okay. All right, now number 19, you want to present the characteristic features of a constructivist approach. Which should you use in summarizing? Remember your constructivism. If you haven't watched our video on the isms of education yet, puntahan niyo po yan sa YouTube. Nasa ProfEd po natin na playlist yan. That's the isms of education. Lahat po ng ism ay na-discuss na doon. So make sure that you write a reminder on that in your notebook. Okay, so watch the isms of education and all the rest of the videos that we have there. There's curriculum development, there's teaching profession, there's the pillars of learning, marami po doon na videos natin. Okay, so for number 19, you want constructivist approach. That means you want the students to develop their own meaning. Is it going to be the frame narrative, Venn diagram, fishbone diagram, or attribute wheel? Now let's go to the different choices that we have here. Your frame narrative po, this is a type of writing that relates a series of events, of course, when you're saying narrative. But when you say frame narrative, this is a story within a story. This is a literary technique that inserts one or more small stories within the body of a larger story that encompasses the smaller one. So para siyang sa probinsyano dati, di ba? Yung probinsyano, meron siyang mga small stories within a story. Meron siyang, for example, for 1 week, eto muna yung kasong tinututukan nila or for 2 weeks, no? Ganito din yung ginawa nung 100 Days in Heaven ba yon, yung si Connie Reyes, no? Si Connie Reyes, yung ganun din, parang every week ay may isang topic, may isang short story within every week, but it is within a bigger story. So that's what you call your frame narrative. Okay? Ito po yung frame narrative. Now, ang iyo naman pong Venn diagram, choice B mo, you all know what a Venn diagram is. So this looks like, this is your Venn diagram. This is used to compare and contrast two concepts. So these are some characteristics of one concept. These are the characteristics of the second concept. And of course, the ones in the middle, those that they share, these are their similarities. Okay, these are their commonalities. So this is your Venn diagram. Yung fishbone diagram mo naman, of course, this is your fishbone diagram. This is used for cause and effect. To show cause and effect of cause and effect relationships, you use your fishbone diagram. Now, attribute will, I've also given this as an example before. There is a major concept, and then you give a lot of information around this concept here. Okay, so where do they live? What's the size? What's the diet? This is your Tyrannosaurus Rex, no? Their teeth, skin, etc. Okay, so that gives you everything that you need to know about a certain concept, which means that the correct answer is letter D. Attribute will is the correct answer. Okay, so attribute will po ang tamang sagot. D pala. Oh, ang daming liko-liko yung nangyari ha. Paliko-liko. Confused si Ma'am Maricel. Again, ang inyo pong Venn diagram is to compare and contrast. Yung fishbone mo po would be for cause and effect. Ang inyo pong attribute will, meron kang isang concept. That's the major concept that you're studying. And then you have a lot of stuff attached to it. And those are some other characteristics of those of the concept that you have. Okay, ang frame narrative mo naman po, that would be a story within the story. Okay, so the correct answer, of course, number 19, that's letter D. Attribute will is the correct answer. Okay, tama yan. Cause and effect yung inyong fishbone. Okay, now we go to number 20. If you want to generate as many ideas as you want, which one should you use? Should you use to organize na to, no? Or should you organize? Which one should you organize? Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 20? Very easy. This is bonus na. Paulit-ulit na to. Wow, mga taga-YouTube, oh, bilis. May konting yabang. Woo! Pag sigurado sa sagot, ang bilis no? Ang bilis ng pagsagot nila. Watching from Alaminos, Laguna, Ma'am Lizelle Ed Unal Armenta. Good evening po. Make sure that you like our Facebook page and you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll know when the next live streams will be. If you want to be an exclusive member of Gurong Pinoy, you join Grow, and you can find the ways through which you can join Grow in the beginning of this video, also in the middle of GenEd and ProfEd. Okay, so again, tonight is our last live stream for the month of August. So abang-abang po tayo for the next live stream schedule for the month of September. Okay, the correct answer, of course, correct answer here would be letter B, brainstorming. Tama kayo, di ba? So bonus na to. Basta generation of as many ideas as you want, that we brainstorming. And of course, as teachers, dapat hindi tayo mapanghusga para nga maging creative ang ating mga estudyante. Alright, so that ends our discussion tonight for GenEd 20 items, ProfEd 20 items. Again, teka, bago po natin puntahan yung ating pangwakas na panalangin na pinipare nga ng ating kaguro na si Ma'am Eunice Carvajal, again, there's GROW, Guro Pinoy Review Online Workgroup. If you want to become a member of this, check the details at the beginning of this video, also found between GenEd and ProfEd, the 20 items of GenEd and 20 items of ProfEd. And we are going to be very glad to welcome you in GROW and to learn with us more in GROW. Okay, so thank you so much for listening tonight and for happily learning with us. Let's go to our closing prayer, of course, as prepared by Ma'am Eunice Carvajal.
Salamat, Ma'am Meg, sa mga itinuro niyo po sa amin ngayong araw. Halina't muli po tayong manalangin at ating isarado ang ating gabi sa isang panalangin sa ating Panginoon na nagbigay ng pagkakataon sa atin na matutunan ang ilang item na ibinigay sa atin ni Ma'am Meg. Tayo'y pumikit at manalangin. Panginoon, maraming salamat po sa panibagong kaalaman na natutunan po namin ngayong gabi. Dalangin po namin na sa kabila ng pandemya na nararanasan ng bawat isa, ay gawin po namin yung lahat ng makakaya namin. Nang sa ganon, ay maabot namin yung pangarap na inaasam namin sa susunod na taon. Huwag kaming mawalan ng pag-asa at sa inyo po kami kumuha ng kalakasan. Sa mga pagkakataon din po na nahihirapan kami at medyo nakakapag-overthink sa ilang mga bagay na baka hindi kami pumasa, baka hindi namin kayanin. We pray na ikaw po yung patuloy na magpaalala sa amin na ang tanging kailangan lang namin gawin ay magtiwala sa sarili at sa iyo, Panginoon, sa plano mo sa bawat isa sa amin. Dahil sabi mo nga, Panginoon, your plans are better than to us. Kaya ano man ang mangyari, maski na sa kasalukuyang hinaharap ng aming mundo na nagkakaroon kami ng pandemya, we pray at we know, Panginoon, na you have a reason for all of this. Kaya Panginoon, hayaan mo na magtiwala po kami sa iyo at ibigay lang po namin, Panginoon, yung lahat ng pananampalataya sa iyo. Huwag po kaming mapanghinaan ng loob at hayaan mo na ang bawat isa sa amin ay maging ligtas din po sa aming mga trabaho. Ang ilan po ay lumalabas po ng tahanan at sa mga nag-aaral din po at may ginagawa pang iba sa kanilang buhay. We pray na hindi maging hadlang yung mga bagay na problema para kami maging makatagumpay sa hinaharap. Muli, Panginoon, maraming salamat sa lahat ng biyayang pinagkakaloob mo sa amin. This we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, so again, we would like to thank our prayer leaders, si Pastor Efren Esteban, kada Sabado, and of course, si Ma'am Eunice Carbajal, kada linggo naman po, sa pag-prepare nila ng ating prayer. Of course, nakakatulong para tayo ay maging motivated, maging inspired, and of course, para mag-guidean tayo sa ating pag-aaral no, kada Sabado at Linggo sa ating live streams. All right, so maraming salamat po, Pastor Efren, of course, Ma'am Eunice Carbajal. Okay, so that ends tonight's discussion. Matulog po tayong mahimping, lahat-lahat. Sleep well, stay safe, and stay COVID-free. Mag-ingat po kayo lahat dyan. Kung meron mang bagyo dyan, mayroong lindol, no? May mga lindol pa sa Pinas. Mag-ingat po tayo and of course, take our time here during the pandemic as a time for us to spend it well with our family. Okay, so sa muli, maraming salamat po for joining us on Facebook and also on YouTube. And this is Gurong Pinoy na nagsasabing, maliit man na butil ng mga kaalaman, ang dulo nito ay malaking kaginawaan. Maraming salamat po. Good night. Say bye to them, Rain. Bye. Okay, bye. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, we can play now.